don't you wish that kids would come in this world with a manual? You read the manual, you know what to do. In reality, parenting is puzzling. My daughter was 2.5 years old when we started to fall in an happy pattern. Every evening I come home, she jumps with joy into my arms. We hug, we kiss, I swing her up, I swing her down, we hug again. I let her go to play because I have to go in the kitchen and cook dinner. In a few minutes, my happy toddler will change her mood. And from a happy kid, she will turn into whiny, crying monster. It was time of perestroika, and Russia, a big empire, was sliding into wild stage of capitalism. I was looking for the answer. I could not find anything. The libraries and bookstores had books on politics and modified history. I could not find anything. In the meantime, the drama was getting bigger and louder, and I didn't know what to do. Finally, I found a book at the street market, a little tiny book on parenting. The book was on attention tantrums and why children do them. The author was saying that babies and toddlers have very big attachment to their parents, and the need for a connection, really good connection, is high in children. And if parent is not able to satisfy that connection, to enforce it, to show it to a child, the tantrums follow. 3 simple steps with a suggestion. First, a physical touch. Second, an eye contact. Third, a conversation. First, a physical touch. Toddlers and babies, they don't have their identities separate from their parents. And a physical touch, a hug, means to a child a lot, much more than we think. It gives them assurance to be loved, to be safe, and even to be alive. Only later in life, children learn to be by themselves and separate their identity from their parents. But it takes time. So a hug is a big deal. The book also suggested that after a hug, you have to hold hands with a child. Children have receptors in their palms connected to their comfort zone. 2, an eye contact. It's really hard to connect to anybody without looking in the eye. And children are really sensitive about that. The book suggested to bring child to your level or go down to their level. So the best way to do it, to put your child on your lap and hold hands. And while you're doing all of that, look in the eye and start a conversation. Simple. A conversation. Well, we talk and conduct conversations to connect. A meaningful conversation is big. Same for the little child. A conversation should be happy, easy. You cannot talk or teach. You cannot talk about misbehaving, scold child, or teach at that time. It should be something easy subject to discuss, something to talk about, like a book you read, a pet, upcoming vacation, how the day went by. And doing all of that, make sure you're looking each other into the eyes. When child is sitting on your lap, it's different for a child. You give a kid a freedom, holding that, but at the same time, not suffocating in your hug when you wouldn't be holding a child in your embrace. So the best way to do that conversation while the child is sitting on your lap and your eyes are level. Okay? Next evening, I come home, I implemented all of that in life. My toddler flew into my arms. I hugged her, I kissed her, I swung her up, I swung her down, I hugged her again, and then I went to a couch and made myself comfortable on the couch. Put her on my lap while holding hands. I looked into her eyes, making sure that I do it really, really well, and asked her about her day. She said that day in the kindergarten, she had a green apple, green soup, and played with green toys. Okay. After that, I lowered her to the floor and went to the kitchen. That was no attention tantrum that evening. There was no attention tantrums anymore, as long as I remember it. A physical touch, an eye contact, and a conversation. My daughter is a grown-up adult right now. But sometimes I have a feeling that I have to run to her and hug her and lift her and swing her up and swing down and put her on my lap and holding hands, looking in her eyes, maintaining a good eye contact. Ask her how her day was, just to let her know that we're still close, and no matter what, I will be always on her side. Madam Presiding Officer.